the best, as you've noted. I mean, they seem to have some chemistry working.
Yeah, they did tonight. I think those three guys, you know, I wasn't happy with our team game tonight, but I thought that those guys, you know, showed some good signs out there tonight. And that was a great goal by McHale. A lot of guys can't one-time that puck and put it in the right spot. Like that was a hard pass by Joel, and I thought those guys created some good buzz, and they're difference makers, and that's what they're supposed to be. And even when we didn't have our best game tonight, the guys that we needed to make a difference did.
Obviously, you wanted McHale to score, but just for his development, for his confidence to come back down here after a very good preseason camp, I mean, how important was it for him to just kind of start putting points on the board right away?
It's real important. Offensive players, you know, they have the tendency that when they're not scoring is when they start taking shortcuts, and that's not good for the development of their game. And he's here to learn to play the right way so he can be effective at the next level. And he's learning. You know, I think, you know, for my vantage point, he's been pretty solid the course of the year. I thought tonight he got a little leaky at times, but he continues to get better, and has just got to learn the consistency and how hard it is to create offense, and you got to find different ways to do it. It's not always going to be a two-on-one. It's got to be grinded out in the offensive zones, finding the soft ice, and getting pucks to the net.
I'm sure that he has the internet and can see what's happening in Buffalo right now. They've been shut out 3 of the last 4 games. How do you keep him focused on this here, now, today, this game, and not worry about thinking, why couldn't I go up there and help them?
Yeah, that's hard to do. I mean, it's just human nature. I think every guy in our room thinks they could go up and help that team. I hope they do. But the reality of the situation right now is that, you know, Tim is committed to do what's best for our players in terms of their development. Whether, you know, how many games they win in Buffalo this year isn't the long-term vision. You know, we've got to make sure that we're building a team and we're building players that can help us be successful down the road. And right now for McHale and Joel, it's important that they're here, that they're focused on being here and being effective every night. And we've seen signs where they can dominate play, but they still haven't done it consistently. To me, they've got a lot of work left to do here. They continue to impress, but they got to be better, more consistently.
Makarov's first start tonight, what were your thoughts on his play? He was obviously tested a bit.
He was. Mackey was really sharp. Probably the difference in the game. You know, I thought from a team standpoint, this is probably the poorest we've played all year. And thankfully, our goaltender was our best player. So, you know, he was anxious to get in there tonight, and I'm happy for him. He played real well.
Things for tomorrow's game, obviously you're facing the same team that you'd like to see change as your team game goes.
Yeah, our puck support was awful tonight. You know, we whether it was breaking out of our own zone, we had guys swinging away from the puck, and our close support wasn't very good. And that carried over to the neutral zone where we were making a lot of hope plays, poking at pucks, and then swinging by guys as opposed to playing through guys. And that kind of was our bread and butter, you know, making sure we get pucks in behind the other team's D and get to work on them that way. We got a lot of guys that can make a play over the line, but you have to have more tricks than that in your arsenal. And tonight we just wanted an easy game, certainly early. We got better as the game went on, but you know, we've certainly got to pay a lot more attention to details tomorrow night.
It seems to be a little bit of a characteristic in the past 2 games of this team, you know, getting stronger as the game goes on. How do you work on getting them to start that way from the get-go?
Well, you know, it's hard to say that we haven't been good from the get-go because we haven't trailed a lot this year. Mm-hmm. So, you know, again, it's all perspective. Tonight wasn't very good from the start. You're not going to be good for every second of every game. I think guys were prepared to play, and you have to look at it from both angles. You know, they're coming in here, they're a desperate team right now, and they're pushing hard for a win, and we're probably feeling a little bit better about ourselves than we need to. Hopefully tonight was a good wake-up call because we're going to go in their building tomorrow night. And, you know, I've watched a couple of games that they've played in their own building, and they play hard. And it's a faster game in their building. The ice is real fast there, so it's going to be a completely different game tomorrow night.
I thought the team did a good job forechecking, though, in the first period. Created a couple of turnovers, had a couple of chances, and then they ended up getting the first goal, but they still kept it up throughout the game. We were able to get turnovers and chances.
Yeah, you know, that was one of our big things is we want to put a lot of heat on their D-core. They got a couple injuries back there and a lot of young players, and then they had a sequence where they lost 2 defensemen for an extended period of time with a 10-minute misconduct and a 5-minute major fighting. So, you know, they're down to 4 young defensemen back there. You gotta establish your forecheck and make sure you're getting a lot of heat on those guys. And I thought we did a decent job of it. You know, again, there wasn't any aspect of our game that I thought was great tonight. I thought, you know, that we were good enough tonight, and hopefully we can get better tomorrow.
I don't know, you were just talking about hope plays or, you know, trying to poke it by. There was a play that maybe typifies it because it's not usually his game either, but first period, neutral zone, guys fumbling with the puck, and Pesek can,
Yeah.
if he just either takes the puck
Yeah.
or just bangs into the guy, then it's gonna be your puck. But
Yeah.
there was a little flip, touch thing.
Yeah,
that-
and we weren't connected tonight either, you know, tonight was one of those nights where for whatever reason, there wasn't a lot of talk on the ice from a lot of our guys. You look at the goal they scored, it was on a PK entry where we get both of our F2 and our defensemen are gapped into the wall on one player, he slides it into their best player and he puts it top shelf, you know, those are plays that we don't normally make. So for whatever reason, that was part of the game for us tonight, and, you know, we gotta be happy again that we got the 2 points out of it, but we gotta get a heck of a lot better going forward.
Health-wise?
Nothing, I haven't gotten anything yet. Nobody missed any time, so, if there's any update, it'll be tomorrow morning, 'cause, nothing in post-game.
And Petrecki's status is?
He can play, he's
Okay.
just, you know, he was, I guess a semi-healthy scratch. He's a little bit nicked up, but he certainly could have played tonight if we needed him, and we had 7 healthy guys, and we thought it would be best to get Brady back in there.
Just when it comes to Army, so double back there, how important was it for him, I guess, to start off the season as being like sort of the guy that you're going to rely on? Because last year he was bouncing around lines a lot, sort of fighting for a spot, sat in the press box a few times,
Yeah.
but from this year, from the very get-go, it was,
Yeah.
we need you here to
Yeah.
score goals.
Yeah, well, I thought he set the tone with that in Traverse City, played really well and took a leadership role. We didn't score it all up there, but he was our best offensive player, maybe the best player in the tournament up there. And I think that gave him a lot of confidence. He had a good camp in Buffalo. And you know, we want to keep him riding on that high. If we want him to be the player that's going to be a contributor at the National League level, he's got to do it consistently here like we've talked about. And a lot of it, he's a young kid still, it's confidence. And you know, his confidence comes from getting good touches in the puck and making plays with it. He seems to really enjoy playing with McHale. They have good chemistry. So, you know, whatever it is that's giving him confidence right now, we got to keep that going and making sure that he keeps growing as a player.
Where are they, those two in particular, on, like the other night, you said Joel's game wasn't what it had to be, but
Yeah.
yet there were flashes where it was like, wow, that kid can play.
No flash.
So where are they in their own minds of, well, look at the play I made?
Well,
Look at the goal
I
I
think
just
that's
scored. And that might be every young player.
Exactly. That's part of the maturation process for these young guys is that toe drag, shooting it through a screen, through the defenseman, scoring. It's a big goal for us that Joel scored. Is that enough to get you to the National League? It'll get you noticed, and you're going to get some time up there, but is it enough to make you play every night and be an effective player? And it's not. You know, we know that. We know he's got to be more well-rounded than that. He's got to make better plays coming out of the zone. He's got to make sure that he's using his body to win puck battles, to keep offensive possession, strong plays at the lines. If he can do those things consistently, that's what's going to get him and keep him in the National League. It's not the one-hit wonders that and those are great. Those make ESPN, but they don't by any means give you a long career in the National League. You got to do the little things with extraordinary consistency.
Almost 10.
Okay, thank you.